Hey, what's going on, everyone? Welcome back to another episode of Youngtimer's Garage. I bought another old Mercedes, but this one is really cool and it's got a really cool story. So this Mercedes that I just purchased is out of Loveland, Ohio, kind of a random place, but the car was sitting for approximately 27 years. I found it scrolling on Facebook Marketplace and I kind of gave it a quick look over, and then I didn't think anything of it. A week later I remembered about the car, went back, found the listing that I sent to my friend Ed, and sure enough it still was there. The pictures were bad, that's kind of why I didn't really dig any further into it. The car did however have a rear AMG spoiler, or at least that's what it looked like. And then the rear bumper on the car did look like it had a lip kit. So I kind of reached out to the seller. I got some more info, and sure enough, I went ahead and bought the car because it is really cool. So it's a 1984 Mercedes W126 500 SEL, and it was first purchased by someone that was locked up for life in jail. They special ordered the car at Mercedes-Benz and never took delivery of it, so it was in their possession. So then they listed it for sale at their dealership, and an older lady came in, saw the car, loved it, bought it. She then barely drove it, and something went wrong with the car where the catalytic converter got clogged or something like that, and it ended up at a mechanic. That's the guy that I bought the car from, and so he just wanted to get rid of the car, and I was the guy that wanted to buy it. So here's the car without further ado. It is gold, or the correct color is champagne. It is a 500 SEL. It is a Premerger AMG car with some really cool mods. It's got the lip kit on the rear bumper, side skirts, the spoiler, and it does have a full Premerger AMG suspension. It does have some really cool period correct Sentra wheels, and if you take a look from a distance, they do look pretty bad, but upon further inspection, the wheels were preserved with a very thick clear coat. So as you can see, underneath this clear coat, these things are like new. So I will take all this off, get them re-cleared most likely, and they're gonna look like new. There's no rust on the car. Underneath is very solid. The paint has a little bit of fading. I'm curious to see if I'll be able to I'm curious to see if I'll be able to wet sand that out, and maybe get sections of the car re-cleared as opposed to repainting the car. Trying to keep it as original as I can. It does have Euro headlights, so it has the US spec bumpers on it. They're a little bit more further out than the Euro spec ones, and they still look good. They're not as bad as the ones that are on the SEC cars. It didn't come with the plate. I had one of those, so I slapped it on there. I'm probably gonna put some gold badges, gold star. I'm trying to locate the 500 SCL badge in gold. If anybody has one, shoot me a comment down below in the comment section, or if you have any of the gold emblems. Also a Premerger gold AMG emblem would be sweet. Let's take a look on the inside. The inside, Palomano interior, however you pronounce that. It does have original Mercedes-Benz sheepskin covers, which secretly I've been wanting for a long time, and they are really cool. And underneath is just pure perfection. Here are the original logos. Let's take a look here. JKW was the previous person that owned it. Those were her initials, presumably. And there was also a plate on the front of the car. Now this car has only 30,000 miles, which is just amazing. I've always wanted a W126 S-Class, and I finally got one, and I can't wait to get this thing cleaned up and driving again. It's hasn't been started for 27 years. It sat in a warehouse for a majority of its life. In the last 5 years, it sat at a mechanic's shop outside. So this wood is all really clean. The only piece that's got some cracking is the center console wood. The steering wheel's like brand new. Headliner is also like brand new. It has the owner's manual, has the keys for the wheels. So I'm gonna try to get everything situated with this car. It does have really cool features. The rear has heated and reclining rear seats, which are amazing. Under the hood is the V8 5.0. And I will be checking if the car does have AMG cams. Pop this hood. So here is the engine bay. These hood pads, they tend to deteriorate. That's very common. There's no rust anywhere on this car, besides some surface corrosion on small parts. But body-wise, it's very solid. And if you look down there, it has white springs, so that's a good indication that those are Premerger AMG springs. So first thing that I'm going to do with the car is check with the borescope inside the cylinders, make sure that nothing, no rust is in there. I'll check the oil, engine oil, trans oil, all the fluids, and then check the gas tank, make sure there is no old gas or anything like that in the tank. You definitely don't want to fire up the car with gel-like gasoline, as it would cause a massive problem in the spider, the fuel system underneath the air intake here. It is a CIS fuel injection system, so it is not fun to work with. And once the fuel tank is sorted out, fuel filters, fuel pump, got to make sure all that is working before I do get the car started. And then we can first try to crank the engine by hand, putting a socket on the main bolt on the engine, and then if it turns over after letting some fluid soak in there or fogging it, then we'll be in good hands to start the engine. You know, whether it's on starting fluid, but yeah, all these things will become apparent once we start digging into it. So my plan with this car is to keep it for a little bit of a longer period, but you never know. I'm always finding something else cooler. This car is a pretty special car I've always wanted, so I'm gonna try to hold on to this guy. I am going to be looking for a US Premerger AMG lip, which is going to be very difficult to find, but if anybody knows of one, leave me a comment down below. Otherwise, my other option is to get Euro bumpers and the Euro lips front and rear, Gen 1 or Gen 2. I'd prefer to keep it Gen 1, suppose that, you know, just to keep it period correct, I guess. If you look inside the trunk, it is very clean. This brown carpet is pretty cool. Look at this full-size spare, never mounted. None of this has ever been used. Let's see what we got here. Oh, the original part number sticker fell off. JKW, that was the gold plate that was on the front of the car that I took off. All the original stickers. And if you take a look right here, AMG is stamped on the spoiler, so that's the indication that this is OEM, which is really cool. And if you look under here with me, I'll be able to show you guys the AMG stamp on the lip. There's another one on this lip here. Let's see. Oh, there it is. There she is. It's getting a little dark out, so can't really give you a good shot of the undercarriage, but believe me, it's very dry, no rust under there. So I'm going to start off with giving the car a nice wash, kind of see what I'm working with paint wise, and then we'll go from there. So let's get started. There's a lot of spots that have some green algae, and I sprayed them down with Simple Green degreaser, and all that's coming off. In the pictures it appeared as if it was rust, but see, it's not the case. So just give that a couple sprays, and there's no other way to really get that grime off. Not too worried about the brush scratching the paint. I know some of you guys are going to be crying. The paint's not perfect. So, look at that. Let's see. Oh, this should come off. I think this car was under a car cover. Looks like that's a loose. But if you look at this part, usually on a higher mileage car, it's all chipped up. This doesn't have any rock chips. This was just sitting in the sun baking. Probably order some amber markers for this. Look at that camera. I don't know if this one cracked, so definitely an order for a new one. Alright, so a bunch of parts came in for the 500 SEL. Obviously, more important than fixing the car and getting it running, you gotta get accessories. So we got a gold hood star, and I am looking for a gold 500 SEL badge. If anybody knows of one, please reach out, shoot me a comment down below. I did pick up some California Custom purple metal polish and aluminum deoxidizer, so I'll try to use this stuff on the aluminum trim around the car and see if it actually works, and if we could salvage the aluminum and get it looking like new. Here's a brand new Mercedes-Benz fuel pump, which will be the ticket to getting this car running. Amongst that, I still have a fuel filter to replace, and I got a CarQuest one, but I figured, you know what, might as well get the Mercedes one. I got a fuel line, and I have to check to make sure this is the correct one, because one of the lines was botched and somebody created an adapter with like a metal fitting, and it's leaking from there. So I got a new line. I think this is the line I need from the tank to the pump. We'll see. I'll double check that. I got the strainer for the fuel tank with the new washer. And more fun stuff. I have amber markers. Sweet. These are not Bosch, these are just TYC. So they're still pretty good, and I'm not too concerned about having originals, because I could always get them if I really want to. I went ahead and cleaned down here a little bit. Some of that is just like factory grease that accumulated some dirt over it. So they would put this like rust proofing, it's like a yellow spray. But when I have time, I'll go ahead and do a full detail on these areas. And I'll be getting the engine bay nice and clean once we get it running. New hood pad is in order. And I'll definitely be trying to locate the Gen 1 US Premerger lip, which will be different. Alright, this one is in. Looks great. Way better than the other side. It's more like a yellowish. And this one was cracked anyway, so I needed a new one. It's the same step on this side. Show you guys the knurled nut. This is the nut, and it's in there. It goes onto screw there, screws on, loosen it. This pops right out. You got your plug, unplug your plug, clean out over there. Alright, so I'm going to test fit my AMG OZ wheels. These are 17 by, what is this? Here's 17 by 10 in the rears. These tires are 275s, and the height is 40s. I have a feeling that these are going to be way too wide and aggressive, but we'll see. Probably need to buy new tires, although these are brand new. These were off R129. I don't think there will be enough clearance with the car being low. So me and Alex from Legit Street Cars, we're going to be doing some videos on this car. We're going to get it running. We're going to sort all the fuel issues. So I'll leave the link down below to the videos that we're going to be doing. There's a couple of videos already on this thing. So when you're tightening these bolts, you're going to want to be very careful, as the faces of these wheels tend to crack when they are over tightened. Here I'm using my impact wrench, but it is at a level 1 setting just to catch the bolts, and then later I'll hand tighten them to 110 Newton meters, which is equivalent to about 81 foot-pounds of torque. Alright. Night and day. Wow. Look at that meat. Oh my God. Amazing. So I have to swap this tire because it's rotational and I put the wrong rotation on. Well, that about wraps it up for today. So if you guys liked my video, make sure to hit the like button down below. Make sure to subscribe to the channel, and make sure to comment on the video. Let me know what you guys think about the car, and till next time.